Hi yogis, Joan Hyman here. So I want to talk about an important topic in the yoga world today about giving hands-on adjustments as a yoga teacher. This seems to be a really big topic, and at some of the studios I teach at in LA, they actually have these chips, and meaning that if a student doesn't want to get touched, they can put the chips on their mat. And I have learned so many of my postures through hands-on adjustments, and I have to say I was actually very taken back to hear this. So I'm making this video as a way to spread a little bit more awareness on giving hands-on adjustments as a teacher, and I would love to hear your perspective on it as well. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I was at a workshop with my teacher, Mati Zirazzi, and this topic came up, and she said, not receiving adjustments in a yoga class is like not receiving touch in a relationship. And I think most of us are more kinesthetic learners, that we really understand touch and a hands-on adjustment much more than a verbal cue can take us in a posture. And don't get me wrong, I totally support verbal cues, but for a lot of students, they'll go in one ear and out the other, whereas a hands-on adjustment will really leave an imprint. So I think what the issue is there's so many teacher trainings out there that aren't really teaching teachers how to read a body. And in yoga, there's no black and white adjustments. All of us have different imprints, meaning that we all have different skeletons. We're all shaped in different ways. So some of us will be able to do postures that others of us won't be able to do. And as a yoga teacher, it's really important to understand this. There's not one way of doing things. Certain students need props. Certain students need to be instructed on how to get stable more, where other students need to learn how to open up more and take longer stances. So therefore, understanding how to read a student's body. So as a teacher, it's really important to be in a place where you're the observer, not the doer. So slow down and learn to look at your students. Now, if you have a student who is new to your class, have a conversation with them before practice and ask them, are they open to receiving hands-on adjustments? And start slow. You don't want to overwhelm your student. Give them a couple feel-good adjustments and see how they respond to that. Now, that also includes when you're giving an adjustment, know what your intention is. Work from the ground up. So if you're giving an adjustment on a standing posture, make sure the feet are correct. And if you correct the feet and the legs, but their upper body goes out of alignment, I would say just leave it alone. Do one thing at a time so you don't overwhelm the student. And I think this is where a lot of confusion starts to happen, is that teachers are hanging out too long and it starts to become their agenda and not the student's agenda. So in that case, as a teacher, it's very important you're connected to your breath and your intuition. Part of the reason why I practice every time before I teach is because it helps me connect to this part of my body. So I'm able to read when a student needs space and also when a student has gone far enough in a pose. So this is intuitive, and this muscle gets developed through a lot of teaching and through a lot of practice. Okay, so see your student. Don't just see the student's physical body, but really see their soul and what their soul needs at that time. So that also includes, if you have friction with a student, leave it alone. Give it some space for that friction to subside. I often find giving people space is the best way for energy to smooth out. And so lastly, as a yoga teacher, be confident. So adjust poses that you deeply understand and be stable. So when you're going over to a student feels safe. If you feel confused, a student will pick that up. And that's the thing with hands-on adjustments and touch. It's such an energy exchange. So if you're off, they're going to feel it. But if you're confident and your intention is pure, they'll feel that too, and they'll relax around you and really receive what you're trying to give them. So I hope this helps. And the bottom line is, we need more touch. We need more connection. We don't need more chips on yoga mats. So I hope this helps. And also leave me your comments, leave me your perspective, maybe even leave me some things that help you give better adjustments. Thank you.